to I have to either stay 2 weeks because All Star is usually that second week of February, right? The 13th, 14th.
It's on Valentine's Day weekend.
And then because I've been to every Black Joy.
Yeah.
I've been to every Black Joy, so I know I'll come back for February. I'm not gonna do both.
Yeah,
either
am I
gonna stay?
I don't miss Black Joy.
Oh, you don't?
I don't miss it.
No.
Nah, but that's only because I think it's so valuable for us to have something like that, especially out here. Yeah. It's so much shit that goes on. Just a moment of
You said you will miss Black Joy?
I won't.
She will not.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's my moment. Just to be able to recharge, with the folks, you know, in a way that's it's everybody. It's the people, kids, they grandparents, they aunties. I'm outside.
Yeah.
I'm outside.
I feel like that about Juneteenth at the lake. I feel like that a little bit because it just feel like a big ass barbecue.
Is it weird that I feel like you're more liable to get shot on Juneteenth at the lake than you are? That's
how you live in Oakland, nigga.
You say you won't miss Juneteenth at the lake?
I try not to.
I don't think it's the same after Travis no longer does Fam Bam.
I agree.
He doesn't do it anymore. And so that I feel like that other side of the lake where that's just okay. So not last year, but the year before, I was here and Fam Bam was over in the corner, and that's a totally different vibe. It's totally different. We said, well, let's go walk to the other side. I feel like every time you walk, you just reach different parts of Oakland.
Yeah.
So it's okay, over here is where Fam Bam is the lake and what you want it to be. Then you start to walk and you shift. It gets okay, this feels like West Oakland. Here. And then when you start hitting the stairs and you start going around, it gets real deep.
Deep
East Oakland,
Deep
and
East,
it's okay, I'm gonna stop right here and I'm gonna make a U-turn and I'm gonna go back. And then that's what happened. They got shot over on that side. So we're on this side, we don't know what's going on, but you're oh, they shooting at the lake, and you're oh,
really?
But it is on the other side.
No. You over there just fanning yourself. That's crazy. Really?
Right, really?
They did.
And so then, with us, everything gets grouped.
Yes.
So the lake is this and the lake is that. So we are constantly always trying to be no, it's not like that, because that wasn't our experience. But that's just like with Lake Fest. We got grouped with what happened during Juneteenth a couple days before. So we were doing a lot of crowd control and trying to no, that's not how we are. But automatically, it's it's just trauma.
Guilty by association.
We just have a lot of trauma associated with us. And that's why we were on the news no, we promised Lake Fest is not like that. And people who have experienced Lake Fest is it's not like that. But because it's Black people, then it's
it's Black people from the Bay Area.
It's at the lake.
It's Black people from the Bay.
They're going to shoot all the stuff we were going through, and people were saying it was crazy, but it's trauma. So we understand how people feel, but it sucks that we are constantly having to defend ourselves when it comes to event spaces that we create that has never had any type of problem.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does suck because you do get.
Are we starting?
Yeah, that's usually.
That's how it is.
We start like that. We just
I love it. Okay.
An actual conversation.
And then we do an introduction later on.
We like to get our pre-show banter on.
Yeah. Okay.
We do just random banter for about a good 20 minutes. All right, let's start it now. Hey, y'all listen here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. We are just constantly trying to defend ourselves, and if one thing happens, it's
everybody did it.
Yeah, that's just with So Oakland. I was constantly I could, if you came into the space, I was not standing still. I was running around because I felt like I had to be security. I felt like I had to show face so people will know, okay, she's, this is Shayla. She's trying to build this space for us, and this is what we're trying to create.
Right.
And even when there were lines outside, I'm outside giving people hugs, talking to every single person. Because one, I appreciated that you've come and you decided to be here. Thank you for your $20. It was deeper for me for that. And so I never was able to relax.
Yeah.
Because it will only take one thing for it to completely destroy that space. Unfortunately, it could be a fight, it could be whatever. So I was always on edge because I just know that we needed this, and I wanted to break those stereotypes. I wanted to change.
You got to keep
the
boat
narrative.
afloat.
Yeah, so it was like I wasn't relaxed.
Mhm.
So if I had an event Saturday or Sunday, I wasn't relaxed until Tuesday.
I understand
sounds
that.
kind of like
I
you
understand that.
too.
Yeah.
I like
Low-key.
people don't understand that when you throw events and the kind of pressure you're under, because everything is under your name or your reputation.
Everything.
Everything's based off your relationship.
The
There's
venue,
a lot of things.
if they have a bad experience at the bar, if they have a bad experience at the door.
Something always goes left last minute. You could call in a favor and somebody will fix something. We've had times where the sound system wasn't working. Like we opened doors in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This shit got to come on. Like they don't understand. Like you're not resting. You're showing up early. Most days I didn't eat until that night. 12, 13 hours, no food.
Yeah, no.
That's
like,
me now. As a coordinator. That's me now.
They don't understand. Like it's really tough to do that shit. And then it's
I just feel like I had a little baby moment. Remember he was on the Breakfast Club and he was like this. I just felt like I did some shit like ding. I was over here like, yeah, so I was like, whatever. But no, it is a very stressful industry to be in. It could be very lonely. It's like you're showing up to provide this space and joy for others. Like we literally we just want you to have a good time.
We just want you to have fun.
We just want you to be happy.
Create
we just want you
memories.
to,
take
good
pictures.
energy. And then, but who checks on you?
Nobody.
Nobody checks on you.
You are stressed out. You probably got dressed right before the doors open.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. My friends about to pull me to the side and eat this damn banana. Eat this bagel.
For sure.
Like, because they know I won't eat. I'm just like,
go.
This needs, go.
Yes. Oh man, you gotta pay everybody. You have to check in, make sure nothing went wrong. Like you said, diffusing situations, especially if you know them. You like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, there was one incident. Nobody knew about this, but me and a couple others. It was the 1-year celebration of So Oakland at Revolution Cafe, and it was the largest one. And I remember, it's across the street from 7th Street, Acorn right there. And so at the end of the day, I think the issue that people in the community the people in the community in that area just felt like so many people were coming into the spaces and not including them, Oakland resident or not, like you in the West, like I'm niggas from the West, like this is where I'm from. So why can't I come into this space?
Right.
But I had a protocol, like you either had to show an email, you had to be invited. So I was very particular to create this space and keep it safe. Right.
Yeah.
So it was the largest one. Lines was outside. I'm letting people in. And I remember it was probably like a group of 10 dudes that was from the block around the corner. So they come up and everybody's coming in. And so they like, all right, we're trying to get in. And I was like, you have an email? And they was like, no, we don't got no email. I was like, okay, well, you need an email to get in.
You need some.
So they like, okay, well, could we just pay you? And I was just like, no, I didn't care. So he was like, $50 a head. We'll give you $50 a head. I was like, no, you need an email. So everybody's getting in, and so they just stand back and they watching people just walk in, and I could just see the bitterness. Yeah,
for sure.
I'm from here. You're not even from this street, and you're not letting people in. They're not saying this, but I know what it is. And even though I'm 5'4", I can carry myself like I'm 6'2". You gotta just, that's how you have to be. Because people will try to just. I'm from here. Gang recognized gangs. Shit
real
don't,
East
you have
Oakland
to
baby.
Speak a certain type of way.
Real East Oakland baby.
And if not,
I'm not going.
No, especially as a woman.
You're not gonna do me.
I don't care what you talking about. You have to show me. I'm not going.
Show me. No,
just because I'm a lady,
absolutely,
just because I carry myself a certain way does not mean you finna play with me.
No,
that's not what that means.
Yeah, so. You have to carry yourself that type of way in this industry as a woman because it's male dominated.
Yes.
Fully.
So they're standing against the door. They're standing against the car. And people are going in, and a male's ego.
Yes.
Black male's ego. And so then they're just congregating, and I'm just like, all right. So I start thinking, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, I can either let them in and show them a different side of Oakland and let them have this experience, or they be in their feelings, and when we exit, it's be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I pulled them off to the side, and I was in the middle. Like, I'm literally in the middle, and they have a circle around me. And I went around and looked at every last one of them in their eye, and I was like, I just want to let you know that I'm going to let every last one of you guys in this space. I worked very hard to create this space for us. Like, I went like real mama mode, you know. I said I worked very hard. I was like, people are watching us. You know, they want to constantly paint this picture in the media of what Black Oakland is. They want to be quick to tell you who got shot on 82nd, who got shot on 98th, but they don't want to tell these stories. Yeah. So I'm going to let you in because I want you to experience this, because you probably never experienced this. Come into a space where you don't have to look over your shoulder. LGBTQ, people in tech, people art spaces, people hood niggas, whatever. We're just black, all up in this space, and we're all in the same space. And we respecting this space. And so it's not about the money. You could pay the $20 like everybody else. I don't care, because at this point they were like, "We'll give you $100." I don't need that.
Damn.
No, yeah. God.
Yeah.
They was like, "I'll give you $100 a piece per person," because they wanted to be in this space.
It's been a few times where I've had that. Even at the door. Yeah. Like, if people come with a certain like energy and they want to get into this space, it's like sometimes you do have to put your foot down in that regard and be like, "Hey, I hear you. This money is great. Yep. But if I bring you up in here and you cause a fight or you cause an altercation, we're gonna lose much more. It's so much more than that $100 that you offered me." So then they were like, "Okay." So I gave all of them a hug. And I was like, "All right, boys, like, go enjoy themselves. Go enjoy themselves." So they walking in, and I'm like, dang, because, you know, it's a lot of women, whatever.
Yes.
Beautiful.
You know, and it was just a different energy.
Yes, it was. Yes,
and they was just in there. So my work wasn't done, though. So while I was in there, I made it very important for myself to make sure that I check on them. So while they were in there, you know, I'll see them. I'm like, "You having a good time? You see that girl there? You go dance? You know, just like, you need a drink." And, you know, just so they see me. And it wasn't just about the $20. Like, I wanted you to feel seen. Yeah. Like, I really wanted you to be in here. Space, So time goes on. At this point, I think I made an announcement about the proclamation, and we're still turning up. So towards the end, there was a back part of Revolution Cafe where it was just like this little gate that people could hop over, right? And so I had security back there. And so security, you know, I'm like, "You need to do your job." Like, there's people jumping over. And then it was security that was like allowing people to pay, you know, like, give me money to go in. So I had to check him on that. I had to switch security up. So towards the end, it was, you know, whatever. I seen my friend. My friend was like, "Shay, like, there's some dudes in here that aren't about that. And when I say aren't about that, aren't about the peace. And I've heard one of them say, like, they ready to basically, like, rob people in here, right?" And I'm like this, because I'm like, everything I worked for could be taken away. Right now. So Fab seen me, and Fab was like, "Shay, like, you know, people respect Fab." So he was like, "You know, I had to tell a couple of my homies, like, you my sis, you work very hard for this, but I think you need to, like, end it, like, cut the music." This was at the end, anyways, but people were still around. And so then I'm telling my friends, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, please, I cannot I do not want nothing to happen." Yeah. So everybody's like, you know, leaving, and I'm standing right at the door, and I'm hugging people. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad you're here." Da, 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 da. Everybody's coming out, and I see some dudes, they aren't even like, they are just looking at people. Like, I can tell the way they're looking at people's pockets. Like, they're just like really looking like they're ready to make something happen. So I see one of them, and I like literally grabbed him and made him look at me. And I'm like, "Did you have a good time?" Like, right. So redirect. Happy you came. Redirect. And okay, so the next one is about to be in a month. You have IG. Like, we got to stay in contact. And I just felt that completely shifted.
Disarmed them.
Yes. And they felt like, "Oh my God, like, she really cared, like, that I was here."
She didn't just have us come up in here to shut us
No.
up.
And that moment diffused whatever they were thinking. It didn't happen. They went one way. They were laughing, joking, all of that. But Everybody that exited saw me because I stood there and made sure that they saw me and knew that I was the one that curated this. Wanted them to know how important it was. And I think that's important too, because I know, like, being in this business, how many times I've been irritated not knowing who party this is. I'm in line. Nobody's saying nothing. We're just here. You giving them the money. You try to talk to a promoter. They don't want to talk to you.
They too busy.
They just too busy. Or they hide in the cuts. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And it just makes me not want to go. You know what I mean? And so I didn't want that. And I think that was a reason why So Oakland was as successful as it was, is because I showed up and I made people feel like I wanted you here and I needed you here. And it wasn't about the money. For so long, it was just bring a bottle. It was bring a bottle. And then it turned into $10 because I was spending so much of my own money. People don't know this.
They don't get it.
People don't know
They don't
how many credit cards I maxed out for So Oakland. People don't know that because I don't
You don't
know today.
Yeah,
no, that's your journey. They don't understand that.
You know, and so when people battle me about paying $20 when I just spent $8,000 for this build out for you, it's like, dang, you know. But I'm not gonna sit there and be like, well, let me show you everything that I've spent. They just mad because dang, it was for, you know, it was a bottle and now it's 10 now. Now Shayla want to charge $20, and I'm like, dang, I'm really fighting you right now when you will go across to San Francisco to
that's when I became
any one of them clubs.
to one of them clubs. I forgot it was some party, but I'm like, y'all so quick to go across to San Francisco, these white owned clubs, these Asian owned clubs with no questions asked. But it's like it's something about you knowing me and you knowing that I'm making money that makes
somehow
your
I
own
owe you.
Yes, like
it's very odd.
It's very odd.
It's a weird sense of like entitlement. It's like we homies, so you shouldn't be trying to charge me, and I'm your homie. Meanwhile, it's
I'm like,
if you my homie, you should be like, oh, how much? Here you go.
Yeah,
I'm finna bring like X amount of friends. So can we get a bottle? Can we get a table? That's how it's supposed to be.
I've seen
that's
that.
why I became an asshole. I did.
You have to in a certain
I became
way.
an
like,
asshole.
I've seen people.
I don't want to pay that. Don't come in.
Get upset.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people literally get upset going into somebody's party. Like I've been in line. You know what I mean? Because even if I know who's throwing it, like I'm not that person. I'm not gonna come chase down. Which I hate that. Don't do that to anyone who's curating an event. Do not do that to them.
Don't
like
do that.
there's so many things going through their mind. Do not stop. That's small. Like
your
just
goal
wait
as
in line.
A guest is to make
just see me when you get inside.
Hey, what's up?
That's it. Like you have no idea what's on my plate. So I'm seeing that.
And send them a
drink. I saw the person who's throwing the party have to come to the front because their friend is up there having a fit about getting in for free because it's like I know that's my dog, and it's this man's birthday party that he threw, and it's like this is my birthday party, and you up here arguing with my friend Dora about $40.
Acting a fool.
Mind you, tickets online were $50. So it's like and so he looked. He said, so the dude pulled out a wad of money. The man had hundreds. So I see, he grabbed $100 off something, man, put it at the door, man, walk inside, like to have to go through that. It's like,
remember, I had a guy throw a drink in my face for $5.
Yeah,
$5. Because he was pissed that I made him pay $5 to get into this club.
If you think about it, his emotions and how he's feeling had nothing to do with you.
Nope,
nothing.
Had nothing to do with you. And the thing about it is, like, talking about that, like, I've changed my number twice. I've changed my number twice. You know, like, people know the rules. People know the flyers. I've been promoting it for so long. You know what the price is. You want to go around and you want to send me a DM. And you know, you don't want to follow the rules as in like anybody else.
Right.
And then you want to come up to the front automatically.
Yes.
And when you're from here, if you think about it, I know
everybody in the line. I can't come outside and get you. I gotta get all of them.
I would have to get every single person.
Every person.
The moment I see you, it's 7 people tapping. I'm trying to hug and get in my eyes and be like, yo, I got, you know.
Absolutely.
Can you get me and my boyfriend?
I had to definitely run up on some of my homies for real. Like, while they're in the front, while people are in line, and just like, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't come up to the front. All those people in line. we can communicate another type of way, but don't just have any type of expectations, because you of all people know how hard I work.
Hello.
You are not my priority.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so you should already know, like, just like you running to get tickets for everyday people or whatever, do the same for me.
And do not sit there and like tell them to come get me. Do not tell them
to come get
me.
It's that.
I hate that.
As a door person, okay? As a door person, it is one of the things that I hate the fucking most.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm sitting here and I have excellent people skills. I will brag about that.
Yeah.
At the door, that's one of my favorite places to be. It has nothing to do with me not being able to turn up. I like talking to people. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, I love your hair, girl. Come on. Like, I want to help set the vibe.
Yep.
So if I'm sitting there and I'm having a calm, cool, collected conversation with you about how much you need to pay to get on up in here, and I'm cool. I'm the type, okay, you ain't got this much. How much you weigh? Okay, let me do this and this for y'all too, so y'all can go. Like, I'm hella cool. So it's like when I have somebody that's like, oh, well, so right there behind you, because you just get them. I promise they'll tell you who I am. I'm like, bruh, they paying me to be here.
Yeah.
They're paying me to sit right here. Don't you think I would know if you want some sort of guest list or you want some sort of wait list? Don't you think they would tell me to call you and come get you?
I
Or
had
something
one worse
like
than
that?
though. I had somebody who was on my guest list and they're calling me. It was a young lady, like, oh, I'm outside. I'm like, okay, cool. You're on my list. Just tell them just tell security you're on my list.
That's it.
And she was like, but you're not coming outside? Like, no, baby, I'm actually have to run the event.
I have an event.
But if you tell the security guard that you're on my personal list, they'll push you through. And it was just like, can you come get me? I'm dog.
Oh my God.
No.
What are you talking?
No, I cannot.
I just told you sweetie, just tell one of the security guards.
Yeah.
You're fine. Everyone on my list should be short. I don't do, as someone throwing, somebody throwing an event, it's going to be a small list. I don't need a lot of people. Only my mom and my brother, it's just short enough people. And like, you're on that list. They know, just push you. She would not do it. And I'm looking like, crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Like, it got to the point where basically, like, people that I brought on who were part of my team, like Tiffany, shout out Tiffany.
Shout out Tiff.
Tiff, straight face. She knew how to say no.
No.
She made sure I did not come close to that door. She'd be like, Shayla, stay in the back.
Yes.
And I know who your people are. Yes. I know who your key people are to let in or whatever. Everybody else, don't even worry about it. And if somebody got an attitude, oh yeah, like, oh, Shayla's changed. Y'all don't want me to grow
at all. No,
they don't want you to elevate.
No,
they don't want you to elevate.
You don't want me to grow. You don't want me to elevate. You don't want
You don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to be a part of the reason why
your growth is not focused on them.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not focused on them. That's all. When your growth is not focused on them, then no one should grow, because I feel like you're leaving me, because now you have boundaries.
Yeah, you have boundaries that I'm also being expected to uphold now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, like, it's so easy for people to forget that, like, I'm your friend, but I'm also somebody who's aspiring to create something for myself, and that costs us a lot of money, and it takes a lot of my time. So don't devalue what I'm doing if it requires me to have boundaries with you.
Yeah.
I like to go into things with the mentality of I'm a friend, but I'm also a fan.
Yeah.
And so as a fan, I'm gonna pay what you need me to do. Here, take this. Because as a fan, I want to support your brand. I want to support the vision. I want to support what you're doing. But then as a homegirl, I'm gonna come up to you and be like, nigga, what you doing? I'm mess with you in the party. Oh, you doing something? Here, let me get out the way. I'm gonna make myself like useful in this space.
Yeah.
So I'm a friend and a fan.
Yeah.
Be a friend and a fan. Okay?
I like that.
The type of person that is going to end up giving you the discount, or the person that's going to bring you in, is a person who you show that you are respectful of what's happening.
Yeah.
You want to be the friend that is ready to pay first. Then let the person at the door be like, put that up. Come on inside.
Don't have
That's what you want.
expectations.
That's what you want.
Don't have expectations at all. So no,
Be a fan, be a friend.
Absolutely. I'm totally.
And I'm a big fan of you, Shayla. I'm a big old fan of you, girl.
Thank you.
I love her.
I love you.
I love this woman so much.
I love you.
So we haven't introduced the pod at all. Welcome to another episode of a Regular Thing Podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's your boy Kodak behind the lens. We got the Shea Butter God himself, VS.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Still don't want to show his face, because he focused right now.
Yeah, he be in his mode for sure.
Across from me, I got a little sis.
Mari Marp in the house. Y'all already know what's up, okay?
Yes.
Hella Bay up in here. Because you feel me? We got a Hella Bay right here. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
We have a legend on the pod today. A true icon in this creative space, especially out here in Northern California.
Goddamn.
Shayla Bang, aka Shayla James. How you doing,
level.
Queen?
Yes.
Goddess level of infinity.
I love that name,
bro.
Yeah.
Because it's so tight. So speaking of the creative name, when did you know that you were creative? Like, what age was
sexy
it?
question.
Like, when did you figure it out? Like, I think I like doing this.
So for the longest, I would say I didn't really know what it was, but I know when I was a youngster, my family, is she locked out?
No, she got the key.
Okay. Sorry. Because
both of the women was like,
I was like, because I just see her head peeking through the gate like that. Help.
She litty. And she holding a tray with 3.
Okay. I would have to say, when I was little, creative in a different type of way, because I was the one that had to perform for my family all the time. I was the one that, yes, I had to do all the characters from Martin, all the living color stuff. Like I would dress up in my grandfather's clothes and do just like these skits. I was very that. Cool. I was the class clown, just performing in that type of way, right? That was the creativity that I had in the beginning. And then like far as like the arts, I would have to say probably in my like in my 20s, because a lot of the early teens I was a super athlete.
Ooh, word.
Yes, I was heavy basketball, heavy track,
Hooper squad, lady hoopers,
heavy volleyball, cross country. That was my life.
That's
AAU,
so cool.
track, all of that. That was my life. So being creative, no, it was track practice and basketball all the time.
Hold on. So pause right there. Okay. Sports question.
Yeah.
Right, because look what you done did.
You were a 2.
I was a 2 and a 3.
No. Here's the thing why I say that is because a lot of great minds, like creatively, have alpha mindsets.
Yeah.
And I was like, you wouldn't be a point guard.
No.
I was like, nah.
No,
you feel like more of the aggressive, like, nah.
Yeah, I was actually a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, don't get it twisted, my coach would put me down as a 4 because I had hops.
Oh, you was getting the paint?
Hey, yes, I was very strong.
You had the big man hand up?
Yes, I palm down, like, yes, bring it down low.
Look, I get my nails long to distract from that now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Actual tea.
And so then, but when I remember, like, I would go out to, this is when, y'all remember when Berkeley used to have, I don't know if it was the Juneteenth festival or what was that? Was it the Juneteenth early years?
Yes, so off Ashby, yeah.
Yeah, so this is when Ashby Flea Market was still going on. So I remember one day I was with my friend and I had made these purses, like with glue, these little clutch purses. And I got like my grandfather's TV tray and we drove out. I didn't know nothing about no permit or nothing. We just put the TV tray up and I had like these little clutch purses and people were coming around. They was like sticking together with glue. And if somebody bought it, probably fall apart a couple days later. But it was always in me. But I didn't really know, and I didn't really tap in until I was about 27. 27, like heavy into makeup, like expressing myself in that type of way.
Because Shayla can
And then Headbanger started in 28, the big earrings that I had created with my friends. And that was a different movement that we started to do out here. But I've always been creative. But, I was with my grandparents. And so being creative, like compared to now where you can actually have a career and make money, they were just like, makeup artist, making jewelry. Okay, that's cute. But
are you sure?
But I'm great.
Go to school, and so I just knew that I was doing things that I'm like, dang, I feel joy. Like I'm happy when I do these things. Like what is this feeling? And I was also one of those people that I probably had like 200 jobs in my life. If I was I don't like this. I'm leaving. Yes, in the middle of a shift, like
I'm gross.
I'm out.
I'm not doing this.
I did it at Macy's. That my first job was like Burger King. I walked out, like I was hurt, and I look back like, dang, Shayla, that was just not how you should have moved back then. But I was just like, I don't have to do this.
I don't want to do this.
This not making me happy.
You have to edit your resume all the damn time.
All
the time.
Fast forward to when I was trying to be a police. I was trying to be OPD. There was a time I applied to be a police officer. That's because society will make you think that you are running out of time and you need to figure out what you need to do.
I need to be changed. I want to see.
I was like, oh my God, I'm almost 30. I think I was I was 25, 26.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I'm almost 30. I need a career. And I'm driving down 880. You remember on 880 when that big sign that was saying OPD starting at 75,000. I'm like,
trial
that's
today.
what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be a police officer because I want to make a change.
Oh, damn.
You know, for the better. And so then I applied to OPD, I applied to Richmond PD, and I applied to SFPD. During the process, the physical was easy. I'm all like jumping over shit. I'm like, I can do this. Then the next was the background. So when I would have my interview for the background, they would be like,
oh God.
Okay, your resume, you have like 40 jobs. and we think that this is just going to be another job. You don't really want to be a police officer. And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I want to change the world. In my mind, I'm like, I really don't. But that 75,000 on that sign,
that sounded good.
I want to be an officer. Then I start thinking like, I don't even want to fuck with nobody for real. Like, I be minding my business, and I don't even like guns. And like, how is this going to work? Because when I did, the furthest I made it was SFPD. And I just started to think, like, when they would ask me them questions and I'm sitting in front of a panel and I'm still not really understanding like what I'm getting myself into because it's just the interview. And I'm not like, girl,
you finna be a cop.
You about to be a police officer?
For SFPD.
For SFPD?
Right now.
You about to be pulling over people and fucking with people.
You gotta be in their business.
In their business. And like, no. And so I got denied all 3 of them, which was a blessing. Because they knew. Like, but I'm like,
you gonna quit the first day.
Y'all know that I'm not meant for this, but the people that y'all hire that.
Hello, somebody.
So the fact that y'all could figure that out with me, like, why aren't y'all able to figure out with the people that you guys bring on that are
selective
horrible
discernment?
Exactly.
Selective, you know.
So yeah, I've had a lot of jobs, and you know, I've just always been a creative and I've always been very free-spirited. And I think it's a pros and a cons for that because I would look at people who have been in positions for hella long and like, dang, I wish I had that structure. But then they're looking at me like, dang, I wish I was so free-spirited and just able to be like, okay, I want to move here. Okay, I want to try this.
Right.
Okay, I want to do this. So I'm thankful for that because I don't like to take people's opinions of like their experience. Like how people be like, oh, you shouldn't do this because when I did it, or you shouldn't go here because when I did this, or oh my gosh, you moved to Houston, you shouldn't move to Houston because it's X, Y, and Z. If I listened to every person and their experience, I wouldn't have tried it for myself because I'm able to like, let me go see for me. And then I'm like, well, no, that's not my experience because I actually had a good time or I actually liked X, Y, and Z. And I think a lot of people just don't live like that. I like when people ask me like, I really want to do this, but oh my God, I heard you say you don't like it. But what are your interests? Like, what do you like though?
I still want to try.
Because like what I like is totally different than what you like. So
that's how I feel about life.
You might enjoy it. Like
go see for yourself.
So to be able to not have that fear of like, let me go see for myself and know that, Oakland is home base.
Yes.
I know that I can come
you can
back
always
home.
Go home.
That's how I feel about it for sure.
And make the moves and know what I need to do. And this is always my safe zone.
Yeah.
But I have to go because I just, life is moving so fast and I just don't want to have regrets as I get older. The shoulda, woulda, coulda. If Lord says the same, differently, if I was to pass away tomorrow, I feel like I've done
hella cool ass
so many things.
Yeah.
I've had so many experiences. Yes, there's more. But up until this point, I'm like, whenever I wanted to live somewhere, I lived and moved. Whatever I wanted to try, I tried. Whatever so I feel like if you're able to live that way,
live the life.
People are so afraid to try things. But I talk to people all the time that want to
live a life that you're proud of.
Because you're living in captivity. You're really not free.
You're not living. You're just alive.
You're not living.
You're just alive.
You're just kind of there.
Like it's this book called The Second Mountain. It's a great book because the author
Kodak be reading,
is
y'all.
this a little something.
Uh-oh.
I browse a little something. But I'll send you the book. It's really dope. It's about this guy who basically he was into corporate. He had a corporate job for years, 20 plus years, made a lot of money, very successful, higher up executive. But his house at home was just crumbling. Him and his wife were not on the same page. They weren't romantic no more. Feels like a roommate instead of my wife. Me and my kids don't really have a relationship. They're grown now. You know, I missed all the childhood because I was grinding. I was trying to live the life I was told I should live.
Yeah.
You know, go be successful, have a degree, make a family, buy a house. He's like, I did everything that I was told that I was supposed to do, but I looked around and nobody around me is happy, not even myself.
No.
So he called that part of his life where he changed everything. Like, that's my second mountain. My first mountain was climbing up and do I think I'm supposed to do by the time I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
Now, what's my next chapter of my life look like? So
That's
he
awesome.
He quit his corporate job. He still found a way to be consulting and make money and still sustain his household. Him and his wife got on better pace. They started traveling together, taking road trips.
Okay.
Him and his kids, he started visiting them in different states. He started coming around a lot, showing up for the babies, grandbaby stuff. He's like, my life turned into a life.
Yeah.
But I had to understand, I had to start climbing up my second mountain. I felt once I got to that one, that was my peak, but it wasn't my peak. So I had to climb this other mountain. And that's a lot of people right now.
That's a lot of people that are just living just routine. And in their mind, yes, you know, they
on autopilot.
Yeah, on autopilot. And also creating this life where, damn, I can't even stop doing this because I do. Because, stability and artistry is a struggle. It's a battle, you know? Like, for so long, I've solely focused on artistry and what makes me feel good. And then at the same time, I'm like, damn, I still got bills.
Yes.
And I need the stability. But I don't want to do anything I don't want to do. But at the same time,
I don't want to pigeonhole myself, but I got priorities and shit.
Exactly. But also what I was taught at a younger age that I would not give this advice now. It's okay to have a 9-to-5 and pursue your dreams. Sometimes we get caught up in the hustle culture that we're like, no, I don't want to work for nobody else. I don't want no 9-to-5. No. But struggling as an adult is no fun.
Trash.
It's trash.
0 out of 5 stars.
Going to the doctor
Would not recommend,
or going to the dentist and and you need a root canal and you have to pay $2,000 out of pocket because you don't have benefits.
Triggered.
You're a full-time creative.
Triggered.
Trash, you know?
Yes.
And so, but I was told, you was always being pushed that sleep when you die, don't work for nobody else, hustle. But entrepreneurship is like this. 1 minute you like, I got all this money, I make all these sales. Next minute it's like crickets.
Let me see what
On top
LinkedIn
of trying to maintain the energy.
Yeah.
Trying to maintain that energy because now I want my naps.
I am in that. I'm right there with you. Cozy girl era. I want to just chill.
I don't want to like 25 to 30, like even younger. But that 25 to 30 when I was like like 25 to like a little early 30s. Up till 3, up till 4 in the morning, creating, just up. 3 hours of sleep, back up, and then you just like, you gotta take care of yourself.
Now we gotta go back to being the kindergartners when they gave you that mandatory nap.
Hey, listen. I actually have, we say it's meditation in my program.
I like that.
But I absolutely have, and it's TK through 5. They all go through meditation, whether it's a nap time for the little kids or like a 30-minute, like they have their yoga mats and they're doing the breathing exercises for my kids.
Them little mats, bro, when you was a kid and you go to sleep.
I'm telling you, change your whole day.
That little blanket.
I'm telling you, you woke up with all the energy in the world. Like you woke up like, bet I can go back and play.
When it was a nap time,
I be needing that little
that recharge.
And it don't even be long. I be telling myself, I just need to close my eyes for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I'm good. And it literally will be 30, 45 minutes. And I just have this new energy to be like, all right, gotta go again. Because you think about it, it's like, we're adult and it's fucking nonstop. We be going. Time. Like, I'm not the best at time management. I need to get so much better. But you be like, as soon as it hit 12 o'clock, you be like, damn, it's 5 o'clock.
I know.
What?
Oh, time go by.
Then it be like 8 o'clock. Then it be like, damn, I need to go to bed. And then
wake up. Damn.
Same thing.
I'd be at work in 30 minutes.
Same thing. So like, I've learned so much on my journey. I've learned from my mistakes as a businesswoman. I was very much don't need help, not asking for help. A lot of people don't know this, but I was doing So Oakland by myself for a very long time. From the emails, from the social media, from the planning of the events. Yeah.
The email is crazy because early on, as you were saying,
people don't know that because I present it as I have a team.
That's really your baby, though.
Yeah.
Like, So Oakland is really that's your baby.
Yeah, but at some point, it's your baby. Dang. I was just too emotionally attached to it. So therefore, I wouldn't allow people to come in that helped me who were experts in certain areas because I built it and was able to do all these things by myself.
Yeah, this is your Frankenstein.
Yeah. But
there you go.
But do I feel like So Oakland could have been on the level and this isn't coming from this isn't coming from a place of jealousy, envy, or anything like this.
No.
I admire and love Alicia and Black Joy Parade and what she created. The difference between Alicia and I is she had the structure. She knew how to ask for help. Yeah. Alicia came from a corporate background. She knew.
So delegation.
Okay. I was horrible. And this is just my transparency because I want people to learn and understand.
Absolutely.
That you can get so attached to something you create. And so Oakland turned into a monster. I didn't expect that. I just was throwing parties in the backyard.
Right.
I just wanted people to feel good. But when it started to become a business, and was like investors approaching me and saw this
brands
wanting and I'm like missing emails because I'm the creative of it, right? You can't do all. You cannot be the manager, the creative, the marketing person.
For sure.
All of that. I was literally all of that. That's why I was burnt out.
Yeah.
That's why I hated what I create. Like I hated So Oakland. People were like, Shayla, do this and this and that. And I was like, I fucking hate my passion.
It felt more like a task.
At what point? When
did I start hating it?
Yeah, was it like when it became like a public, like we start to have like now bigger venues, you now open up, it went from emails to now you can purchase tickets online when it became that? Because it was intimate, I mean,
Oh yeah, once it, and then I feel like the Oakland community, when we create something like that, a space that was created for the natives, for the Black and brown community, like this was our safe space as we went through gentrification, right? This was something that made it feel real Oakland, real
we still here.
We still here.
Yeah.
And so when it started to shift, also, it was my full-time job. Like Oakland was how I survived. There would be days there would be zero in my bank account and I'm like, don't know how. Okay, let me throw a party real quick, right? And then what was starting to happen was I went from creating So Oakland being like this tri-monthly thing to like, fuck, I need to do events more often because I have to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And then it started to take away the exclusivity of it.
Yeah.
And then there were people that were trying to copy my blueprint and like, okay, Shayla's over here charging this. All right, no, we're not paying that. Okay, let's go around the corner and do another event and make it free and make it $5. Right. Yeah. And so and people not understanding that, like, damn, I had to charge a little bit because, like shit is expensive. And I wanted to maintain the unconventional way of that I was doing it. I didn't want to put it in a club.
Yeah.
I was always searching for something where I was like, I got to do a build out. I got to do a stage. I got to do this. And that shit is permitting. People don't talk about permitting.
Oh my God.
OPD wanting to charge me $100 an hour and I need 8
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't do bigger events for my school. You have to work
joke.
with them. It's a lot.
Especially out here in the Bay.
It's a lot.
Fire permitting, all that. And by this time I'm like in too deep and I'm like, okay, I gotta keep this going. And when you have people that are like, you're creating this joy for people, so people want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like do more because we feel like you've created something where I feel like I can relax in Oakland. I can be myself. I can have a good time. So I'm like, all right, well, I felt responsible.
Yes, yeah.
I drove from Stockton several times. Yeah, I felt responsible, right? And also I didn't I started to hate So Oakland because it was starting to become something that I didn't want. People started to look at So Oakland and me as this activist. I didn't like that word.
That's true.
Okay, yeah.
I remember that.
I was terrified because I felt like it was a certain level of responsibility that came with that.
Yeah.
And I literally just wanted to do, but then also I was like, well, it is activism my way.
It is.
My way is using this space. Why are you turning up with your red cup and having a good time? Can you sign this petition? Can you vote? Can you go to the vote? Can you drop off some clothes to the homeless? So I used it.
That is activism.
Used it my way, right?
Is.
But now it's turning with, you have this platform. Like, people used to be on me and at me all the time.
Why aren't you speaking out about this issue?
Oh. Why aren't you speaking about what's going on in X, Y, and Z? Oh. Why aren't you da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? This is what's going on. You need to do a march. You need to gather da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, it would be times I'll be at home crying.
Yeah.
Because that is, I want to give back my way. It doesn't mean I don't care about the community, but I want to give back my way. Or when I did start to put it out in that type of way, and all of us are talking about what Oakland needs and how we need to give back, I'm like, all right, if 1,500 people showed up in this backyard in West Oakland to party, then yeah, let's talk about buying back the block and let's talk about all these things that we scream and shout about online. So I remember I was like, all right, I was talking to Tony, rest in peace, Tony, from Revolution Cafe. And I was like, all right, Revolution Cafe is a historical building. Yes. That is where the Black Panthers would have their meetings. So we need to really revitalize 7th Street, right? So I'm like, all right, Tony, I had all these people come out to So Oakland. Of course, like, I'm sure we could get 500 people to show up to talk about how we could do better for our community.
Right.
So I posted this about how they're trying to buy Revolution Cafe. They wanted to turn it into a Starbucks. All the things we complain about, what we don't want to happen to Oakland, but it's happening because we aren't in those meetings and we're
not in those spaces.
We aren't in those spaces. So I'm like, well, I have this space, so let's do it. I remember this. Like, oh my gosh, like it was yesterday. Posted this flyer. I was like, they're trying to close Revolution Cafe. This is the space that we have created for So Oakland. And like, we need to talk about how we can come come together as a community and buy the block or all these things, or just have these conversations.
Yes.
Post the flyer, people sharing. Okay, we're going to have this meeting at Revolution Cafe. You know, we're going to show up, and everybody underneath in the comments. This is when I learned. Everybody's underneath the comments. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, Tony, like we might have to do it outside because it is about to be a lot of people that are going to be there. The day comes. And it started at 6:00. I show up, so we're sitting in there. It was a white lady from West Oakland that was sitting in there. It was an Asian lady who had moved from San Francisco that was sitting in there that was now in West Oakland. And there was Tony, and I think it was somebody from, the people that they're not the Black Panthers, but they walk around West
Israelites.
Oakland. Yeah. So there was somebody.
Oh yeah.
They were in there, and then my homeboy showed up. So it was like 6 of us in there. So it was still early. So we're giving it time. It started at 6. So we're like, okay. So we're waiting. Somebody else comes in, another white person, not even from Oakland, sits down. And I'm like, okay. 6:30 comes around. 7 o'clock comes around. I said that's all that showed up.
Wow.
A total of 8 people showed up at that. And I remember that's when I looked at community work differently.
Yeah.
There's different levels. I started to take my feelings out of it. It made me like, shit, if they don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It also made me just be like, I'm just going to do things the way that I want to do it. You have people that are online, and their contribution is just sharing the flyers or just saying like what the community needs to do, but they're not going to physically be there. They're the activists that there's a level of activism of the people that will chain themselves to get together on the Bay
freeway
Bridge.
or something. Yeah.
I'm not that level.
No.
So, quick question for you: the people that just they're active on social media.
I call it performative.
Okay.
It's like a performance.
How you feel about that?
Activism.
Like your honest opinion, like
that
good, bad,
far as
or
like
different.
what they say they're gonna do, or like
just people who
the social media activists.
Yeah, the social media activists, like on social media, like all the people in the comments
Everybody
that say they're
black
gonna
out your
come.
screens now. Put a fist up.
You know what? Like I said, I think I've just learned that there's just different levels, and it doesn't mean that they don't care, because I do think that it's still important.
Yes,
because
definitely.
I mean everybody has social media.
Yeah.
But it's the action that's most important, and you realize that it's just not a lot of action. And you also learn that everybody can't be leaders.
No.
Because when people present all these ideas to me of what I should be doing, and I'm over here like,
how come you're not doing
you
it?
could do it too. You know that.
Oh, I hate that.
That's you could do it. Want me to show you how to start?
You can do it.
Or I'll even help you with some resources. So because everybody has their thing that is passionate to them.
Yes.
Like during the Stop Asian Hate. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The way they were coming for So Oakland. And
it was a lot. I was a sleuth during that particular time.
Oh my gosh.
They wanted So Oakland to.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they wanted y'all on the front lines.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Yeah. And I think
and if they weren't, it was like you're complacent. Like you were in agreement with
it.
You're perpetuating.
They were like sharing stuff that was like So Oakland is anti-Asian, anti-Asian.
It got deep.
And it got, people trying to do the smear campaign. And I'm just like, but when it's time for Black Lives Matter and things like that, it's silent. And so then I think I did a video, and I don't try to put my face on So Oakland too much.
Right.
I put because people will tend to bring issues to my personal, and I didn't want that. So I had to put my face on there and was like, I don't think you guys were here. I'm talking to them. I don't think you guys were here in 2015 when I had my first event on AppGuard in West Oakland. And I don't even think you know how So Oakland started. And I'm a Black woman first.
Yes.
And I created this this space for us,
yes,
the natives. And it doesn't mean I don't care, and I shouldn't even have to explain that.
Right.
But I'm not like I think I posted something one time that was just that. But I'm not about to you.
I don't have to use my voice
I
for
don't
everything.
have to use my voice.
I'm
For
not the
everything.
face
I'm
of
not.
this. I'm not the face of this. I'm not the representative.
Yeah. So, you just, I think it's just like you just kind of learn. You learn as you go, and I also, God first, and I had to
always
allow Him to lead me, even in times where I wanted to be like, "Fuck all this shit," like fuck y'all.
Delete all that shit. Delete all that shit.
I really got to the point where I fuck y'all. Shit. Like, fuck y'all.
Sometimes that's all the words you got.
And
sometimes
it feels so good to say in the moment.
Yeah, like
too.
how dare you not? People are never satisfied.
Ever.
I think to take something that someone has created out of love,
yeah,
and then use it as a weapon against them to justify what is or is not happening according to your agenda is diabolical.
I've been through a lot,
up.
and also people don't think that you should have money. They don't think that you should pay yourself.
Oh man.
They don't think that I should have a life where I'm living comfortably.
I wasn't going to talk about that.
But they don't think that.
Brother,
they don't think that. That pissed me off. That was hurtful.
Yeah, they were accusing you of some crazy shit.
Yeah,
that shit was wild.
They did. They did.
Like, what?
And I don't talk about it. Because, the thing about it is people continue to show up for me. Mm-hmm. People know my character.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they know who I am and what I'm about, and how fucking dare you. And I don't talk about the $90,000 worth of credit card bills that I sit on for staging and all this shit that I did. I don't talk about that, and it was very hurtful. It made me hate my community. It made me step back and
disconnect.
Disconnect.
I'm unplugged.
And it's like community work is okay long as you're broke.
Yes.
Long as it's real community work.
You just can't look like you're thriving.
You can't look like you're thriving.
You can't look like your work is paying off.
You can't look like your work is paying off.
God forbid
at
your
all.
Work is paying off.
Yeah, I never talk about this because it was a very dark time for me. It was very sad for me. Also, I was going through cancer at the time. Mm-hmm. And
that she motherfucking beat.
And yeah, I just, I never talk about this because it's just I pay attention to people that still it didn't stop what you also need to understand that it will be a few, but even after that, I had another event and it was so many people still there. Yes. It was the Joaquin Miller one after.
Yeah.
And so you realize why it's so important to how you treat people goes a long way.
Yes.
I am a firm believer in that.
I could do something to you that makes you feel good, and I may not see you another 7 years from now, but you're gonna remember that.
It's a lasting effect.
Yeah.
Feel. Absolutely.
And so that was just like a confirmation. Was just like you're good.
Replacing trauma with memories.
Yeah, and I know also I don't talk too deep about this, but I also the person that started that was somebody very close to me. Mm. He was a brother figure.
Yeah.
He was someone that rooted me on and was always pouring into me. Mm-hmm. And he still doesn't know to this day that, because I just never approached him. He still to this day doesn't know that I know it was him. Because he did some stuff from a fake page.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, he probably knows now. When this comes out, he'll know. If it makes his way.
Yeah.
It's very much his intrusive thoughts will.
Yeah, he did some stuff from the
Hit dog
fake page.
Hit dog
and we did our research and we found the email and it was his. And I just unfriended him. I didn't even block him.
No.
And I just stopped talking to him. And he still to this day keeps putting in a friend request for me. He even swiped me on a dating app.
Oh.
He still doesn't know that I know that he was the one that was a part of the smear campaign. You know, like I'm just in a place where you have to deal with that. I don't have to deal with that.
That's not my thing.
And you also have to be very sure of your character. Mm-hmm. People are going to think what they want to think. Yeah. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Mm-hmm. It's not my job to convince you otherwise. And that is my power. You know, like that is just where I am. And like, I'm blessed. And I also feel like
highly flavored.
I also don't talk about this. If I wouldn't have been able to take care of myself, I wouldn't have been able to pay my cancer bills. I wouldn't have been able to do any of those things. And I have no guilt because I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And
you heard it here first.
You know, I don't even talk about this at all. But you know, it's also still like you walk in places and you kind of feel like people whisper. Yeah. But also I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to like I said, convince you to
how
think
you think
otherwise.
It's up to you.
Yeah. It's
your thoughts of me are your responsibility.
You could be Mother Teresa, and people will still have something to say. You could,
for sure.
You could feed and take care of everybody on San Pablo and people will still
have something
to say.
People from E14 gonna be mad.
It will be mad, you know, and I understand why these certain individuals were upset because they didn't understand how was she able to? Why is she so special? I've been trying to, and nobody will ever donate to me. Mm-hmm. Why is she? And calling me thieves, calling me this, and calling me that. And,
envy is crazy.
And I just left it in silence. I didn't respond.
You didn't.
I didn't respond.
I never. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't respond because let me tell you who was also on my DM. People that fucking knew me. Mm-hmm. People who, Shayla, don't you say nothing.
Yep.
Don't
your
say
hedge
nothing.
Of protection.
Don't you say nothing. Don't you all the time.
They was trying to take you down.
Oh, they was trying, but they can't though.
Yeah.
They couldn't. And then what happened? It just stopped because they couldn't. I wasn't about to go back and forth online. I wasn't about to.
I feel like your character speaks for itself.
I do like you. How dare you make me feel guilty of like wanting to also take care of myself when I ain't never paid myself in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't never.
They don't
think and I'm looking out for everybody else.
And I'm
taking
like,
care of everything else.
Never.
Yeah.
And so I don't deserve to take care. I don't deserve something.
I'm bringing you guys out live artists.
I don't deserve to do. I don't deserve to do. I don't deserve to eat. I don't deserve to pay myself back for
I'm putting
anything.
y'all in venues they wouldn't even like you in.
You know, and I'm just
they don't even know you by name.
It's really fucked up because I feel like we do that a lot in our in our community.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
But there are other organizations that are on a larger scale that we don't question.
No.
We don't fight back. We don't do any of those
things. And they still
things.
right in front of you.
And they still right in front of you.
Oh, and
you know,
they
I honestly don't like what they did to, what's the Black Lives Matter girl lady?
Oh, I forgot her name.
What's her name? You know,
yeah, because they try to say she took the funds and bought a house.
She don't deserve it. She can't.
Like, I'm on the front line
she can't.
with y'all.
Straight up.
Her name Brittany Martin?
Say it again?
Brittany Martin?
No.
No, it's So it was 3.
It's 3, yeah. I think I met this young lady at Complex Con.
Yeah. Yeah. She lives in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. They accused, I think wasn't a guy that was a part of that?
Was it Zara Salim?
Let me see. Look, I think it's the Patricia lady. And the only reason I say that is just like,
I think it was the Patricia lady, actually.
Like, this is what she does full time. Like, this is how, like, she was one of the creators of this.
Yes.
She don't deserve to live a nice life. I feel like that's what we do to each other. Now, if she had a little
you don't question
raggedy hotel, a raggedy little apartment in the middle of Bankhead and was eating cup of noodles, then it's okay.
Yes.
But because she got her $1 million house and she also had her brother helping and was
that means she was stealing.
Why does we only do that to ourselves? Now there are crooks.
Oh, for sure. Creflo Dollar.
Like, we don't do that to
Creflo for sure. Let me see.
So Patricia says that Patrice Cullors has not been jailed, but she did step down from Black Lives Matter Global Network in 2021.
Yes, because it was
after facing criticism
so much backlash. But they also don't understand that Black Lives Matter is not even owned by them.
No.
So you constantly donate it. It's not her. It's the white people that they own that. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, it's unfortunate. It's like, you can only do community work if you have to show you're struggling.
Yeah, because everything else gets erased.
Everything
they feel like there's some type of stain on you.
I definitely, I know when this comes out, I just don't want to talk about people have and then also people were, because I possibly they weren't some of the people that I donated to, then all of a sudden, Shayla is, she a bitch. I tried to X, Y, and Z. She be walking around like that has never been my character.
I've never seen it. I've never
So
seen
it was like,
I've never seen it.
Now you're trying to paint this whole picture. It's just people jumping on the bandwagon to try to destroy my name. And so at that point, I was just really like, fuck y'all. Or she moved to Houston and I just heard so many crazy things.
Brand new. She forgot about
when you moved, I was like, how did she do that? How did she get them? I'm like, she moved to a mansion.
I've never, first of all, another thing was like, and this is another thing, like, I don't have to keep making this disclaimer, but like, I ain't never not been her or never not had money.
Say that.
Been getting money.
I ain't never not traveled and never not had a nice car and never not
bang. Okay,
I've never, that is like, now all of a sudden it was just like these oh my gosh, she's on a trip. How did she pay for that trip? Sorry. Like, oh my God, she's on a trip.
If I can plan a huge ass event with over, 500, 650, 1,500 people, what makes you think I can't plan a little moving trip? What makes you think I can't plan a birthday party or a vacation?
It was just these whispers of, oh my gosh, she moved to Houston and she bought a complex. She bought all this property, and I was like, did I? For real? Where is it? Please.
That looked like an apartment on the video.
The address?
That's like an apartment on the video.
That's crazy.
My rent is $1,600.
That's crazy.
So, but that's the stuff that you start to learn. Like, you just don't need to respond to everything.
No.
It's not worth it.
It doesn't warrant. It doesn't warrant one.
It doesn't. No, because it gives people power too. It gives people power on your life, because I don't have to explain anything to you. I don't.
Oh, and you should.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, you should.
What made you pick Houston? I see you in New York.
I love New York.
I see you in New York.
I
love New York. Okay. So
you want to give him the mic?
Let me tell y'all this. Okay, so during the pandemic, we were all, I feel like, especially somebody in events, we were all dealing, like, mentally, like that shit was. It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's been 4 years,
Yeah.
but like during the pandemic, it's and when events is like my number one go to.
Yeah.
I was just like, what's next?
Mhm.
And
Coffee.
I had got a job in tech.
Mhm.
I had started working for Square.
Mhm.
It's another thing. Like I got like first of all, I was like, I started working in tech. I was
Mhm.
working for Square. I've always loved Houston. And I was just like, okay, you know, like I'm about to be 40 and like, you know, I want to live somewhere where the cost of living is cheaper, but also I want to live somewhere where Black people are
Have
thriving.
fun still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We're
know,
still
where
outside
Black people
doing
are
stuff.
thriving.
Yeah.
Women, I'm single. I was like, I'm single. I need to go where the single Black men are to find my
Done with these
husband.
To find my
To find my
husband.
husband.
Find my husband.
But I did a lot of research, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you better protect this woman or else I'm coming for you on God.
Didn't you also
I'm just
aren't
saying
you
that now.
HBCU grad or did you
I didn't
graduate?
graduate. No, I did go to HBCU. I went to Southern and I went to JCSU in Charlotte.
You better.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Houston. So this isn't my first go around. Like like I said, free spirited. I've always moved to different places. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Charlotte, Baton Rouge, Houston, Atlanta. And so
Goals? Goals?
Yeah.
You a real trapper.
Yeah. I mean,
You a real trapper.
I gotta go see. I want to go see for myself. And so then I was just like, yeah, like I'm Houston, like I want to go see.